Mind the culture.
Mind
Keep
your
culture
culture.
in
My
your
culture.
mind.
Culture in
Culture
mind.
and mind.
This is the podcast for the culture.
I'm wondering, because yesterday we had 700 people in such a cramped situation watching your show. Like, what is the thing in your work that can you name what is the thing that you do that brings people in to see it?
No, that's a good question, because I also had a bit this realization, it's 700 people, that means this cannot only be the dance bubble, actually, because there are not so many people. Or also that I'm sometimes shocked when people tell me, yeah, I saw the show, and I'm like, really? You go to the theater even? Like, that's a good question. What do you think?
I have my guesses. I can tell you my guesses. I think it has to do a lot with branding, maybe. So I think you're very strong on, or at least your team is, or the people who promote you. But I think also yourself, because I've been on your website. I think you're very strong on branding yourself in a certain direction that is maybe aligned with what is now hip in the art.
Yeah.
I have the feeling the content of the work is a big factor, so there is maybe some kind of shock value in there, but then there is maybe also some kind of opening towards modes of expression like acrobatics or stunts that people just like to see. And yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what else it could be. Like, of course, the fact that you perform in the most prestigious place in Vienna for this kind of art, it also plays a role, but it could as well be 300 people. Like, why there were 700 people? That's a good question. Maybe you tell me.
No, I mean, the thing with the branding, that's, of course, I do agree to a certain extent, but it's not something I consciously really do. I'm also not super active on social media and this kind of stuff. But of course, it's something what happened through the media right from the beginning, that there was this certain shock value branding, I would say. But I think that was always also a double-edged sword somehow, because this also at the same time backfires at you. I mean, if I read most of the reviews of my shows, I'm like, who would watch something like that? No, because people that describe, it just sounds super vulgar and perverse, and I'm like, why would I watch somebody shit? I mean, this kind of stuff. I still hope that the show is more than that to people, actually. So I think it's, for me, this is a double-edged sword a little bit. It also backfires. So I'm a little bit biased about the branding. But yeah, I guess it's, but also based on my own fascination with these things, like sports and circus and these things that have a big entertainment value also. That is for sure more accessible also for people who are not coming necessarily from the culture bubble or something like that. Yeah, but that's just in the nature of the work, I guess. That was always important for me, that it's also entertaining. I mean, because why else would you look at anything?
I can relate to that very much. Can you tell me, okay, so...
Or at least then you're allowed to also do really boring stuff. I believe there is always some, scenes or narrations in the shows also that, you need to seduce the audience into then being able to look at something else that maybe does not have the straight-on entertainment value or something.
Yeah, I'm sure there is audience for everything, of course, but much smaller. Let's put it like this. Let's put it like this, boring stuff. But I'm wondering, like, what would be, like, if you were in charge to bring maybe not 700 people, but like 5,000 people, like, what would you be to the theater or to a venue of sorts or a stadium or whatever? Like, what would be your strategy? What would you maybe add to attract even more people? It's a hypothetical question.
Oh my God, I really cannot. I don't even know. Like, why would I even want to have so many people there? Then you would need to really do a air show or something like that. Because already with the 700 people, I find, of course, it's a pity that you don't have closeness with a lot of people. And I think that's why it would not be my total fantasy, this 5,000, 7,000. But okay, if I had a big stadium, which fits then couple thousand people. Yeah, I don't know. It's more a question of scale than just some. Yeah,
I'm curious because let's say, okay, you can only have 700 people at once. So yeah, okay, let's say you do more shows. That's one strategy. But what if there is an experience where you can have more people? Like music does this very well, for
yeah.
example. And I'm just wondering, because I'm wondering about this question, like, oh, how, like, I had a feeling like you as an artist are able to make contemporary dance attractive to a bigger amount of people.
Maybe,
Then
yeah. But
your
also a lot of people
traditional,
would say it's not dance, actually. But yeah,
yeah, that's
yeah,
of course debatable.
yeah,
But let's say you have the label of contemporary dance and you bring in public for it.
yeah,
So no, my dream, my personal dream is like, how can even more people come to see contemporaries? How can even more people have the question of what is my relationship with the body, or like how
yeah,
do I do something creative and artistic in my life with the body and with my physical experience? Like I think these are very valid questions, especially nowadays with all the technology that we have surrounding us. And I think that contemporary dance has the ability to, I'll say, put forward those questions. So yes, it is relevant for me personally, hypothetically, the question like, how do you get 5,000 people involved in one thing? I'm just wondering.
yeah,
But if you say like that you're losing the proximity factor, then maybe you're losing the essence of it. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean I don't say that that's impossible, but I would really need to think what could be valuable, because also then you're that's such a big mass event, yeah, that it always, I think, becomes a little bit difficult then, yeah, to I think I really like this, to be able to see eye to eye who is watching who and all these kind of things. And yeah, I like the big objects and stuff, but I also like to really be, very personal and personable amongst performers and audience and stuff like that. So I don't know. And I mean, usually my experience, I mean, the shows are one thing, and yeah, they might be a little bit interactive or whatever, but of course, teaching experiences are almost more meaningful in that way, that you really can change people's perception of their own body and all these kind of things. So yeah.